Welcome back to Behind the Mix with the Cool Notes. I'm Steve Mack. So far, we've built the rhythm with the drums and the percussion and the groove with the bass. But today, everything changes. This is the point where the story starts and the song starts to come alive. And I want to show you how I use my keyboards, how I choose my sounds, and how I build my layers. Now, I'm not here to tell you how to do things. It's more about how we do our thing. So, should we get going? Here we go. Now, the first thing I like to do is just call a simple piano program up, just so I can go over the chords and work out where I'm probably going to go with them. In this style of music, I already know that the piano is going to be like my main foundation, my main structure as far as the keyboards go. Now, I picked out a piano I love working with. It's got a lot of edge, it's nice and snappy, and it sounds great. It's from the EXS24, the sampler, and it goes a bit like this, sounds like this. Pretty nice sound, yeah? So over the last few days, I've mapped out the whole track. It goes something like this. Now, what I love doing to support the piano and to give it that more fuller sort of sound, I normally put in another pad alongside the piano and I strike them together. And I've mixed, with this particular one, I've mixed a stringy type sound, synth sound, with the piano. I've called it synth piano, and they'll strike together. Whereas the piano might dance around a bit, this will be more rigid and it'll probably just pad out. Well, it will. I've already actually done it, so you'll hear the sound if you can hear it. So it's the piano and the synth. And in the mix, I'll mix that in gently with the piano so it'll give it that nice solid background. Now, I love doing that. And I do that on most of our records. You'll always hear like a pad playing alongside the piano or whatever the main pad would be. Right, so that's those two. Now, my next sort of attack would be to bolster up the intros and the choruses. I've got an even fatter sounding brassy synth that I've put on top there, and I played it rather loosely just so it doesn't sound quantized and rigid. So it just sounds like it flows over the top. When you mix them in, they sound quite good. I'll show you. Now I've called that one Bright Saw Brass. Now let me play those three together and you'll hear how they perform. Now, at the moment, they're still MIDI, and they've got no effects on them. I've left them pretty dry so I can actually hear everything I want to hear. I don't really want to hear reverb and delays at this point. I'll save them for the mix. And just so you know, that last brass saw, that Bright Saw Brass is done on the ES2 on this one. It's a program I always use. I quite like that program, pretty bright and solid. So like I said, I've been through quite a lot of sounds. I've been going through so many sounds, but I know in the verse, I'm going to bring a Fender Rhodes in, and a Rhodes sound that I really love, made by a company called Sampleson. It's an instrument called Glassy, and it plays just like it sounds, glassy. Love that sound. So I know in the verse, we're going to bring the track down, and this is where I'll use my Rhodes. It'll just pad it out nice and gently, gives it a different kind of sound, and it just brings the whole thing down. and I'll show you where I'm going to put it. So this is where I've played it. I've actually put it in the verse. This is the first verse, and it will actually go like this. And that nice glass effect, I love that. When you EQ that nice bit of top, ooh, just cuts through lovely. So I'll have the rows, like I said, in that first part of the verse. Then obviously we'll start building. We'll start, the other keyboards may come in, probably will come in on this particular track. And then it just starts to grow until we get into the chorus where I have it all in. Now, there's another sound I like to use quite a lot. I actually give it my own name, no matter what the sound is or what the song is. I call it haunt. And the reason I call it the haunt, because it sort of sits in the track very low and it just haunts away. I'm actually using an instrument from Contact called Analog Dreams. I love that synth. A lot of old sounding synths on there. Very smooth and very ethereal sounding. And so what I've done on this particular sound, I've put this in the bridge and on the second half of the verse, just to build it. So this is what it would sound like in the bridge. Once again, it's called the haunt. Hear that? Just haunting away. It's great when it just sits in there. And I'll show you what it's like with the other keyboards coming in. And so what I'll do now, just with those 4 stacks of keyboards, I'm going to show you the bridge section, how that works, and then I'll bring the drums in. So I'll start them off on their own. Then you'll actually hear how they fit in the structure of the song there. And it sounds pretty good already. So that'll be the bridge. Mind you, there's more to come because I actually stack up quite a lot of keyboards. Now, one of the instruments which form quite an important part of the tracks that we make are the string section. And although this song, I'm not quite finished the strings in this yet, I'm still working on them. I know certain sections I'm going to have them in. I love to use the strings because they really, really, really bring that depth and the harmonics open up. And the song just becomes more and more complete. I love to use Contact once again and session strings. Very, very, very nice. They sound great. Excellent sounding strings, and when you mix them right in the track, they sound amazing. So I'll show you a section I've put them in so far, and I'll also let you hear them in with the rest of the keyboards. Oh, just before I get going, one thing I should have mentioned to you, I love arranging my strings in 3 sections, highs and lows. And I'll probably have in the high section violins and violas, and I'll probably put cellos in the lower section. And on this section, which is like a part of the verse, this is the pre-verse, actually it's the pre-chorus, I'm showing you how I use the strings high and low and how I blend them together. What I've done, so you can actually hear them perform, I've actually put them out of the mix a bit, so they're pretty louder than they would normally be. But it would go something like this with the rest of the instruments in. So yeah, strings. So I love my strings, I really do. And hope you do too, because they're great to use. Oh yeah. Right. Now, staying in with the strings, sometimes I like to sort of bolster my strings up with top lines, and then maybe sort of like certain parts of the song we like to emphasize. There's a part in a song where I use it. It's like a high string sound. It's just a string It's a string synth. I've also used the ES2 on this one, and it's a nice sound. You can use it just for highlighting and reinforcing, like I said, certain runs from the string. And when you blend it in correctly, it does sound really good. I'll play you a section of the song where I've actually used it. So I've used it here. So I've got certain parts of the song where I'll actually highlight certain runs. And so I've just called that synth string run, okay? Oh yeah. So like I said to you before, I love to layer my sounds. And I'm gonna use the same sort of run, this sound here. And it's the same run, but this time using a different sounding synth. This particular one is called Explorer. It comes from the Analog Dreams on Contact, and this just blends in and enhances and just gives it a lot of depth. And I love the way the string sound stretches out, and it just sounds gorgeous in the mix when you use it correctly. And it will sound like this when I put them both together. That's it. It's on its own, and here's the other string that went with it. It went like this together. Although I think the string's a bit loud there. But yeah, there's beautiful sound. So that's that one. I think I've played an octave higher. Up there, I think I've played it. So yeah, that's another element to the, or another string to the bow. Forgive me for that pun. So what we got next then? Now here's another sound I love using. I'm using this synth. It's actually a Logic synth. It's called Analog Retro Synth. Quite good actually. It's got a lot of good sounds in it. And there are a lot of parts, this is a very fluty sort of sound. There are a lot of parts in the song where I've got little one-liners that sort of like answer the vocal line. And this particular one, it's doing this sound. Yeah, it's very nice. As you can hear, it's a very fluty sounding synth, and I've splashed that across the song, and it comes here and there. And I think I've also used it on a solo run, or I'm going to use it on a solo run, just at the very end of the song to give it a nice little sort of like fluty flavor. Yeah, these are the things I love doing, and it just gives you all that dynamics within the track. So let me see what I got next. So a group of sounds that I used from the other original mix, I brought it into this mix, comes from the retro synth, flute lead, flute solo, and a lead solo. And they're just songs, they're just little runs that work within the track. And I'll show you how I've used these three together, and they'll be mixed throughout the song, and they'll jump in here and there. And I've actually recorded them, so they're now actually gone down as audio. No effects on them, none at all. So if you hear a bit of clipping and a bit of sound sort of dropping, it's because I've got delays on them when I actually put them in the mix. So they'll sound like this. That's my piccolo flute. And that's the sim solo we heard earlier. So I've jumped to a section of the song where I actually use them. This is the chorus section as the chorus builds and working together. I mean, remember, it's all out of mix, so it's going to sound pretty, pretty loud in certain places where it really shouldn't be. Panned out in the right parts of the song, they actually jump out of the speaker at you. So that just helps the whole song build. Now I know you've got no idea where the song's going because I can hear the song in my head. Like I said, the song's already been completed. We've got the album version mixed already, but we're getting to the vocals soon. So very soon you're going to hear how the song sounds with vocals. And so we've moved on. Let's move on now to the next little bit. There's a few more bits I've got to go now. So there are other little synth pieces that I add to the track, especially when we've got dynamic parts. There's a part of the song where it goes ding, dang, bam, bam, dang, 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 dang. I sort of I try to build that so they kind of get really big. they'll sound like this. Don't know if you can hear that. So yeah, one's called synth piano, and the other one's just called brass stabs. So I just splashed them around those little dynamic parts of the song, and they just really help open the track out at certain parts. So you can add that to the list as well, okay? And another synth I'm going to put in, which I really love. Oh my gosh, it's from the Serum synthesizer. What a beautiful synthesizer. It's amazing. It's one of the fattest I know. It really is good. Anyway, I've got a line I want to use. This line kind of works like a call and response to the vocals. And it's almost guitar-y sounding. In fact, I'm going to make it sound like a guitar. And it goes like this. It's a really nice sound. Love it to bits. The synth. Really nice. Really cool. But I don't want to put too much on the end. It's a bit noisy at the end bit, but really nice synth. So I want to chuck that in there. And yeah, so that's about the last thing I'll put in there. I love that sound though, I really do. So we'll leave it there now, because I think that will form the main structure of how I lay my keyboards down. We've got about 12 tracks there, 12 stereo tracks. Maybe a couple I might put on to mono in the left and right side. But it's about 24 tracks if you want to call them stereo tracks. 12 tracks there. And so I'll play you now how they actually pad out in the song. Because I think there'll be another episode where I'll show you, I've got quite a few keyboard effects. And I think I've been working on the brass, and by the way, the brass, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. I've got a nice brass lines going on, and I think I'll add those two together so we can do the keyboard effects with the brass section, and I think I'll chuck that in maybe the next episode. So let's have a listen to what we've got so far. A lot of keyboards going on there. Like I said, it's how I like to build my keyboards. You don't necessarily have to do that. I mean, everyone does it their own way. Obviously, on the mix, it won't be as full as this. It'll be in and out, so we get builds, and that's how I like to do it. So let's have a listen to what I'll do. I'll play it through, so bear with me, and I'll build them up so you can hear the build as each keyboard section comes in. You probably won't hear me speak, so I'll keep quiet. I'll just bring them in, okay? All right. Okay, so here are the keyboards we've done today. I want to bring them in one by one. I'll start with the drums, and as I bring them in, you can hear it build. We'll probably go around for a loop as you hear the whole thing. And that'll be the keyboards. Well, the structure, main structure of the keyboards. Here's from the top now. Hold on. That's the keyboards for you. And the next song we're going to bring in is the brass. And the brass, they're really going to bring it alive. And some effects, and we're almost there. I'm getting happy now because we're almost there. I'll see you in the next one.